Hi everyone, my name is Harley Rupp, and this is my final project for Chem 1050. Today I'll be presenting Chapter 43 from Harper's Illustrated Biochemistry, which covers nutrition, digestion, and absorption. We'll go through how our bodies break down what we eat and how we absorb nutrients to support metabolism, energy, and health. Alright, let's dive in. All the information in this presentation comes from Chapter 43 of Harper's Illustrated Biochemistry, pages 527 to 534. In addition to using Harper's Illustrated Biochemistry for a source, I also pulled from reliable sources like the World Health Organization and a journal article on malnutrition. These help provide a little extra context for some of the diseases we'll talk about a little bit later on. Nutrition affects nearly every part of our health. Around the world, millions of people struggle with not getting enough nutrients. This leads to poor growth, weaker immune system, and higher rates or risks of illness. On the other hand, sometimes eating too much, especially in developed countries, has caused rising obesity rates and diseases like type 2 diabetes. Our bodies need both macronutrients, like carbs, fats, and proteins, and micronutrients, like vitamins and minerals, to stay healthy and function properly. Carbs are broken down into simple sugars before they can be absorbed. It starts with enzymes like amylase, which break starch into smaller pieces. At the surface of the intestines, more enzymes like maltase and lactase finish the job. Glucose and galactose are absorbed using a protein called SGLT1, which uses sodium to pull them into the cells. Fructose uses a different channel called GLUT5. Once inside, all the sugars exit through GLUT2 into the bloodstream. Fats, they don't mix well with water, so our bodies have to handle them a little bit differently. Lipases, enzymes that break down fat, they begin the process. Then bile salts help form tiny droplets called micelles. These carry fat through the intestines and help get them absorbed. Inside the cells, fats are rebuilt and packaged into chylomicrons, which enter the lymph system before reaching the blood. This is how we absorb fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K. Some of the clinical application here really focuses on the absorption of vitamins. It's very important to understand how the body can absorb them and obtain them in order for us to stay healthy. This diagram shows how triglycerols, our main dietary fats, are digested and absorbed. Fats are broken into smaller parts in the intestines, then either absorbed directly or rebuilt inside cells. Some fats go straight to the liver through the portal vein, while others are packed into chylomicrons and travel through the lymph. It's a complex, but the system is very efficient at doing what it does. Protein digestion starts in the stomach with pepsin. Then, in the small intestine, enzymes like trypsin and chymotrypsin break proteins down further. Brush border enzymes finish the job by breaking peptides into free amino acids and small chains. Free amino acids are absorbed using sodium-dependent transporters. Di and tripeptides are also absorbed and broken down inside the cells. This way, we can fully use the proteins from our diet and get as much as we can out of whatever we eat and consume. Vitamins and minerals are also absorbed in different ways. Fat-soluble vitamins are absorbed along with fats in micelles. Water-soluble vitamins use special transporters or active transport. For minerals, such as calcium, vitamin D is key. It helps increase absorption. Iron is tightly controlled by the body. Our hormone, called hepepsid, helps regulate how much iron is allowed into the bloodstream. Figure 43.3 here shows how iron is absorbed and how it's moved into the blood system. Energy balance is about matching what we eat to what we burn. Our basal metabolic rate, or BMR, is how much energy our body uses at rest. Total energy use also depends on our activity level, measured by MET, short for metabolic equivalent of task. Total energy expenditure is the total number of calories your body will burn in a day. This takes into account a lot of other things, such as including your BMR as well as your MET. When energy intake is too low, we see extreme forms of undernutrition like marasmus and kwashiorkor, both of which I'll talk about in the next few slides. Kwashiorkor is a serious form of malnutrition, which is caused by not getting enough protein, even if calories from carbs are present. It's most common in young children and shows up with symptoms such as swelling, especially in the legs or in the feet, an enlarged fatty liver, and often a bloated or distended abdominal region or belly. Kids with kwashiorkor are often weak, very tired, and usually have a compromised immune system, so they're more likely to get sick. The body can't maintain its proteins or immune system, which leads to many serious health problems for them. Marasmus is another type of severe undernutrition, but in this case, there's a lack of both calories and proteins. It causes extreme weight loss, muscle wasting, and almost no subcutaneous fat, which is a fat layer right underneath the skin. You often see a very gaunt appearance. It usually affects infants and toddlers who are fed low energy food. Oftentimes when they're being weaned off of breast milk, for example, that's one of the times kids are very susceptible to this. These kids are weak, more prone to infections, and may have stunted growth if not treated quickly. Protein is made up of amino acids, and we need certain ones from our diet. These ones are called the essential amino acids. Others can be made by our bodies and often are considered non-essential. When we are sick or injured, our bodies break down protein faster, so we need more to recover. One way to measure protein needs is by checking nitrogen balance. This tells us if we're gaining or losing body protein. A healthy person usually stays in balance unless their diet or health changes. All right, now that we've gone through the main topics, let's do a short review. I've included 5 multiple choice questions to help check your understanding of key points we discovered. Question 1. What transport protein helps absorb glucose and galactose? A. GLUT5, B. GLUT2, C. SGLT1, or D. Sodium channel. The answer for this one, it is C. SGLT1. Good job. Question 2. Which vitamin helps with calcium absorption? A. Vitamin A, B. Vitamin C, C. Vitamin D, or D. Vitamin K? The answer? It's C. Vitamin D, which helps make calcium transport proteins in the gut. Question 3. Kwashiorkor is mainly caused by a lack of what? A. Vitamin C deficiency, B. Protein deficiency, C. Iron deficiency, or D. Fatty acid deficiency? This answer is going to be B, which is protein deficiency. Remember the key difference between kwashiorkor and marasmisis. Question 4. What do micelles help absorb? A. Glucose. B. Proteins. C. Fat-soluble vitamins. Or D. Hemoglobin. This answer? It's C. Fat-soluble vitamins, such as vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K. Question 5, last one. What does nitrogen balance help measure? Is it A. Glucose levels? B. Lipid absorption? C. Protein turnover? Or D. Iron concentration? The answer here is going to be C. Protein turnover. It tells us whether we're building or losing body protein. Here's just a quick recap of the correct answers to the 5 assessment questions. Hopefully this gave you a solid grasp of the key points from Chapter 43. Feel free to go back to any section that you want to review and maybe dig into it a little bit further. Thank you so much for watching my presentation on nutrition, digestion, and absorption. I hope it gave you a better understanding of how our bodies handle food and how we get nutrients we need and what happens when things go wrong. I wish you all the best and thank you for watching my presentation today.